Hi students, this is the third video of chapter number 3, Life Processes in Living Organisms part 2. In the first and second part of this video, we have studied about the reproduction. There are two types of reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. And in asexual reproduction, we have studied about the asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms, binary fission, multiple fission and the budding. Next we are studying about the asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms, and in this asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms we are studied about the fragmentation, regeneration, budding, vegetative propagation and the spore formation. In this third video we are basically study about the sexual reproduction. So let's start the new topic, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction always occurs with the help of two germ cells. So the sexual reproduction is always occurs with the help of two germ cells. Which two germ cells? Female gamete and male gamete are those two germ cells. So sexual reproduction occurs with the help of female gamete and the male gamete. Gamete means a gamete is the male or female reproductive cell that contain half the genetic material of the organism. Gamete means a gamete is a male or female reproductive cell that contains half the genetic material of the organism. Two main processes occurs in the sexual reproduction. So in the sexual reproduction, there are two main process occurs. Which two main process? First one is gamete formation. Gametes are formed by the meiosis. Gametes are formed by the meiosis. In meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half, and during the meiosis, the chromosome number is reduced to half. Hence, haploid gametes are formed. Haploid means use about a cell containing only set of chromosomes from one parent. Haploid means containing only a set of chromosomes from one parent. So gametes are formed by the meiosis. In meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half, hence haploid gametes are formed. So this is the gamete formation. Second process is fertilization. A diploid zygote, diploid means containing complete set of chromosomes, one from each parent. Diploid means containing two complete sets of chromosomes, one from each parent. A diploid zygote. Zygote means a cell that starts the process of forming a baby person or animal formed by the joining together of a male or a female. A diploid zygote is formed in this process by union of haploid male and female gametes. So in this process, a diploid zygote is formed by the union of haploid male and female gametes. The zygote divides by mitosis and embryo is formed, and the zygote divides by the mitosis and the embryo is formed. The embryo develops to form the new individual. Two parents, that is the male parent and female parent, are involved in this type of reproduction. So in this fertilization, two parents, which two parents? Male parent and female parent are involved in this type of reproduction, that is the fertilization. Fusion of male gamete of male parent and female gamete of female parent occurs. So in this type of reproduction, that is the fertilization, fusion means together from one. So fusion of male gamete of male parent and female gamete of female parent occurs. Due to this, new individual always has been recombined genes of both the parents, and due to this, the new individual always has the recombined genes of both the parents. Hence the new individual shows similarities with the parents for some characters and has some characters different than both parents, and hence the new individual shows similarity with these parents for some characters and has some character different than both parents. Diversity means the wide variety of something. Diversity in living organisms occur due to the genetic variation. So there is a wide variety of the animals or any animals and plant diversity in living organisms occurs due to the genetic variation. Genetic variation helps the organisms to adjust with the changing environment, and this genetic variation is help the organism to adjust with the changing environment, and thereby to maintain their existence, and thereby these living organisms they maintain their existence. Due to this, plants and animals can save themselves from being extinct, and due to this genetic variation, plants and animals can save themselves from being extinct. Extinct means dead. Next one is let's think. First one, what would have been happen if the male and female gametes had been diploid? So diploid means containing two complete set of chromosome, one from each parent. So what will have been happen if the male and female gametes had been diploid? So if the gametes, first one, if the gametes were diploid, the zygote will get 46 chromosomes from the father and 46 chromosomes from the mother. That would be add up to the 92. 46 plus 46, 92. Second one, this would lead to diseases or complications in the offspring. So, and this would, there is a 92 chromosomes. So this would lead to diseases or complications in the offsprings. Second one, what would have been happen if any of the cells in nature had not been divided by meiosis? So what would have been happen if any of the cells in nature had not been divided by meiosis? First one, meiosis is necessary for sexual reproduction. So we are already studied in the second chapter. Meiosis is necessary for sexual reproduction and for increasing genetic diversity. If meiosis were to disappear tomorrow, all sexually reproducing organisms would stop having offsprings, and this would lead to extinction of the majority of the world is diploid species. So this happened if any of the cells in the nature had not been divided by meiosis. Next and very important topic, sexual reproduction in plants. So in this topic we are studied about the sexual reproduction in plants. Flower is a structural unit of sexual reproduction in plants. So flower is the structural unit of the sexual reproduction in plants. It consists of four floral holes as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Okay, so flower is the main unit of the sexual reproduction in plants. It consists of four floral holes as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx means the ring of small green leaves that protect a flower before it opens. So this is the calyx. This one is the calyx. Corolla means the petals of the flower. The petals of the flower. Corolla. Androecium. In the androecium, anther and filament are included. Androecium, this is the male reproductive part of the flower. Androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. It consists of stamens. Each stamen is made up of anther and filament. Androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower, and it consists of stamens. Each stamen is made up of anther and filament. Next one is gynoecium. Gynoecium, this is the female reproductive part of the flower, and this is made up of carpels. Gynoecium is made up of carpels. The carpels consist of stigma, style and ovary, and the carpel consists of stigma, style and ovary. So the flower consists of four floral holes as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Arranged in sequence from outside to inside. Androecium and gynoecium are called as the essential holes because they perform the function of reproduction, and the androecium and gynoecium are called as essential wholes because they perform the function of reproduction, whereas calyx and corolla are called as accessory wholes because they are responsible for protection of inner wholes. Members of calyx are called as sepals. Members of calyx is called as sepals, and they are green colored, and the sepals are in green colored. Next one, members of corolla are called as petals. Members of corolla are called as petals, and they are variously colored. So members of corolla are called as petals, and you have seen most of the time petals are variously colored. So this is the parts of flower. A flower is called as a bisexual if both wholes, that is androecium and gynoecium, are present in the same flower. If the androecium and gynoecium are present in the same flower, then the flower is called as a bisexual, and the example of bisexual flower is hibiscus. Next one, a flower is called as unisexual if any of the above mentioned two wholes is present in the flower, and if a flower is called unisexual if any one of the above mentioned two wholes is present in the flower. If only androecium is present, it is called as a male flower, and if only gynoecium is present, flower is a female flower. And the example is papaya. In the papaya, there is a male flower also and female flower also. So some flowers are bisexual and some flowers are unisexual. So example of bisexual is hibiscus flower, and the example of unisexual is papaya flower. In the papaya, there is a male flower and a female flower. Many flowers have the stalk for support. So many flowers have the stalk for support. Stalk means one of the long thin parts of a plant which the flowers, leaves or fruits grows on. So many flowers have the stalk for support called as a pedicel. So this part of flower is called as a pedicel, and it is help for flower for support. And such flowers are called as a pedicellate, whereas flower without stalk is called as a sessile. Androecium is the male whole, and its members are called as a stamen. Androecium is the male whole, and its members are called as a stamen. Stamen is a small thin male part in the middle of a flower that produces a fine powder. Gynoecium is a female whole, and its members are called as a carpels. So androecium is the male whole and its members are called as a stamen, and gynoecium is the female whole and its members are called as a carpels. Carpels is the female reproductive organ of a flower. Carpel is the female reproductive organ of a flower. Members of gynoecium are called as a carpels. These may be separate or united. So members of gynoecium are called as a carpels, and these may be separate or united. Ovary is the present and the basal end of each carpel, and the ovary is present in the basal end of each carpel. Ovary means a female reproductive organ in which ova or eggs are produced. Ovary is the female reproductive organ, and ovary is present in the basal. Basal means in the base. So ovary present in the base of the flower. A hollow style comes up from the ovary. Stigma is present at the tip of the style. So here stigma is present at the tip of the style. Stigma means the part of a pistil that receives the pollen during the pollination. Stigma means the part of a pistil that receives the pollen during the pollination. A hollow style, this one is the hollow style, comes from the ovary. This hollow style comes from the ovary. Stigma is present at the tip of the style. Ovary contains one or many ovules. This ovary contains one or many ovules. Ovules means in plants that produce seeds, the part of ovary that contains the female cell that become the seed. Embryo sac is formed in each ovule by meiosis, and this ovary, there is an embryo sac is formed in each ovule by meiosis. Each embryo sac consists of haploid egg cell and two haploid polar nuclei. And each embryo sac consists of a haploid egg cell and two haploid polar nuclei. Polar nuclei means either of two female haploid nuclei. Pollen grains from anther. Here, pollen grains from anther. Pollen means a fine powdery substance, typically yellow, consisting of a microscopic grains. So pollen means a fine powdery substance, typically yellow, consisting of microscopic grains. Pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma. Pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma. This is called as a pollination. So pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma is called as a pollination. Pollination occurs with the help of abiotic agents, that is the wind, water, and biotic agents, insects and other animals. And pollination means to put a fine powder into a flower or a plant so that it produces seeds. Pollination means to put a fine powder into a flower or a plant so that it produces seed. Pollination occurs with the help of abiotic agents, that is the wind and water, and biotic agents, insects and other animals. Stigma becomes sticky during pollination. Pollens germinate when they fall upon such sticky stigma, that is the long pollen tube here. So stigma becomes sticky during pollination. Pollen germinates when they fall upon such sticky stigma, that is the long pollen tube, and two male gametes are formed. And two male gametes are formed. The pollen tube carries male gametes, and this pollen tube carries these two male gametes. Pollen tube reaches the embryo sac here. This third diagram, the pollen tube reaches the embryo sac via style, and this pollen tube reaches the embryo sac via style. Tip of the pollen tube bursts and two male gametes are released in the embryo sac. So tip of the pollen tube bursts and two male gametes are released in the embryo sac. One gamete unites with the egg cell to form zygote. This is called as a fertilization. And one male gamete unites with the egg cell here. One male gamete unites with the egg cell to form a zygote. This is called as a fertilization. Second male gamete unites with the polar nuclei. And this second polar gamete unites with the polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. Endosperm means the part of a seed that stores food for the development of a plant. So next, second male gamete unites with the two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. As the two nuclei participate in this process, it is called as a double fertilization. So here there is a two nuclei participate in this process. So it is called as a fertilization. So this is the diagrams of double fertilization in angiosperm. So in this way we are studied about the sexual reproduction in plants. Next one is, do you know? When pollination involves only one flower or two flowers borne on same plant, it is called as a self-pollination. Whereas if it involves two flowers borne on the two plants of same species, it is called as a cross-pollination. While discovering the new high-yielding and resistant varieties of plants, scientists bring about the pollination with the help of brush. Next one, try this. Take a suitable glass vessel like conical flask or beaker, add some garden soil in it and sow some pulse grains in it in such a way that you can observe them through glass water it every day and record the changes. So you can done this experiment at home. Take a suitable glass vessel like conical flask or beaker, or you can take the glass only. Add some garden soil in it and sow some pulse grains in it such a way that you can observe them through a glass, water it every day and record the changes. So you see, ovule develops into seed and ovary into fruit after fertilization. Seeds fall upon the ground when fruits break up and they germinate into the soil under favorable condition. Zygote develops at the cost of food stored in endosperm of seed, and thus a new plantlet is formed, and this is called as a seed germination. So in this video we are basically study about the sexual reproduction. There are two main process occurs in the sexual reproduction: gamete formation and fertilization. Then we are studied about the sexual reproduction in plants. So we are studied about the various parts of the flower. Then we are studied about the sexual reproduction in plants. And in the last we are studied about the seed germination. If you have any doubt in this video, you can ask me anytime. Thank you.